Conference on Women must elicit commitments to action, coupled with commitments of resources. This is the mission in Beijing. No further analysis, but a deeper level of action.
联合国第4次世界妇女大会今天下午就要在北京开幕了。
I have been inspired especially by the women from the South, by the women from the developing countries, who against overwhelming odds have fought to change their lives.
But we cannot lose hope. Here in Beijing, in the midst of all of you, we feel that the sun shall rise. And so we join all of you, and we continue to hope that we shall share the solidarity that we have seen here this evening. May you have peace when you go home.
Excellencies, dear friends, gender equality is more than an aspiration. It's a human right and a fundamental requirement for breaking cycles of poverty, violence, and inequality. Advancing gender equality paves the way for a more just, peaceful, and sustainable future for all. The road will require bold leadership and collective action to break barriers, to safeguard women's rights and freedoms, and to drive trust and lasting transformation. In this context, gender parity is non-negotiable. We must serve and deliver for all women and girls, so let us pursue our collective efforts, turn commitments into ambitious results, and push forward together, and I thank you.
As we meet here today, in too many places, women's rights are being rolled back. The Beijing Declaration's noble goals, its call to the undeniable interest of all humanity, elude us still. Precisely when we should be investing more in an equal future, in the shining potential of women and girls, we instead invest less and spend more on guns and bombs. We, you, the champions of gender equality, are not afraid of the pushback. We have faced it before. We have not backed down, and we will not back down.
The theme, shaping the next generation workforce, resonates deeply with Sierra Leone's commitments to empowering women and girls and ensuring that they are at the forefront of our nation's development. As the Minister of Gender and Children's Affairs in my country, I am proud to share our progress, challenges, and vision for creating a workforce that is inclusive, equitable, and sustainable. In Sierra Leone, we recognize that the future of our economy and society depends on the skills, creativity, and leadership of our young people, particularly our girls. Yet we are actually aware of few of the barriers that they face to limited access to resources, quality education, gender-based violence, and cultural norms that often restrict their opportunities. To shape the next generation workforce, we must address these challenges head-on. We're all looking for the Africa that we want. I'm sorry, this is not Africa where I'm standing. But I'm here representing one of the countries in Africa. So we're looking at the Africa that we want. The Africa that we want is an Africa where our young people will take charge of their own development. Our young people will be at the center of decision-making.
The Beijing 30 Action Agenda gives us a roadmap built on 6 pillars: bridging the digital divide, eradicating poverty, ending violence, advancing leadership, securing peace, and prioritizing women in climate justice. But let me add a 7th. We're engaging working women and male allies, the unsung heroes shaping tomorrow's workplace and communities. Like you would have heard from the host when she introduced me as the Chief Bureau Officer at Sanicle Cloud. We're taking that title to be able to destigmatize menstrual and menopause health, especially for working women in their workplace, and also having males as allies. Today's summit is a 3-in-1 global convening. For over a couple of weeks, we've hosted the Femtech Hackathon, which was led by Femtech Weekend, out of Beijing, China, innovators who were crafting tech-driven solutions for women's health. Today also we're going to be having several panel conversations, which is co-hosted by Sanicle, UNA Nigeria, University PR and IPTK Foundation. We will explore menstrual and menopause equity and also healthcare innovation coupled with women's empowerment. Another big deal for us today is the Nobel Award ceremony, which is honoring 37 Nobel working women and he for she heroes, men who champion equality. We celebrate these recipients not just for their past achievements, but for their ongoing commitment to women's empowerment. They have demonstrated a dedication to turning projects into tangible products and services that uplift women.
Honorable ministers, excellencies, esteemed guests, to each and every one of you here today, both virtual and in person. On behalf of Columbia University's SIPA Pan-African Network, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to our campus here in Morningside Heights. There is a saying, if you are in a country that is progressive, the woman is progressive. If you are in a country that reflects consciousness toward the importance of education, it is because the woman is aware of the importance of education. These are the words of El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, an icon known to many as Malcolm X. Today, it gives us pleasure to join with you all in not only celebrating pivotal accomplishments at the intersection of women's health and African development, but also engaging in conversations that have the capacity to positively impact future generations. SPAN, as our organization is called, firmly believes in the power of collaboration and unity to achieve a common goal. Events like this remind us that vision is never achieved alone. Neither is it realized overnight. But through the course of struggles, triumphs, and even small victories that culminate into a mosaic of human progress and resilience.
One, I would say empowerment. Empowerment is not a privilege, it's a right for every woman. We all have to have our right to funding. We all have our right to grants. And we always have our right to, what is important to us. Like most women, we always feel challenged in the way that, okay, when we wanted something, we feel it's not our right to go for it. But I just want to say to every woman, when you invest in a woman, you invest in a community. Because when you give her, like what one of my leaders said now, when you give her $20, she multiply it to $100. So empowerment and skill training is the key word. Because when we empower them, we're making them to have stability. We're making them to have something for them to, okay, you know what? I have this to lean on. I have this to protect my family and to multiply my resources.
Most times people say, open the door. It's beyond opening the door. You need to break every barrier, every policy, financial barriers, all the barriers. We need to break everything. And women we start seeing women as an afterthought. But we should start seeing women as a massive economic force.
UNDP partnered with them to drive the Nigerian digital program here. There are over 20,000 young people across the country are supposed to receive direct access to employment and skills immediately after graduation. And the expectation is that after they have been integrated into the NDFP program, they have the necessary skill sets that's required for them to enter into the workforce with experience, so that they are not necessarily left behind in the scheme of things. Because again, within the space where we work, we find that it's difficult to find jobs when you don't have the relevant career experience. So immediately after school and young graduates, we want to be able to find a job But because some of these job opportunities come with 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years experience, you almost are relegated into the background. But with a partnership like this that have completed for over 3 years, we are able to provide not just the direct access to jobs, but economic empowerment that enables for young people to be able to get out of the university immediately and then connect opportunities with the expectation that employers will pay their services because of the profound quality of work that they bring to each of the organizations. There are many to find, and partnerships cut beyond just the private public sector. It also can come from even the CFO space. Oftentimes, some of the big investment those that are provided by smaller organizations that are often neglected because we consider them too small to become useful in those communities. But we find that CSOs that have been around for a while, close to the gap here, government intervention has not been able to play a significant role when it comes to strategic partnerships, helping institutions like UNDP to reach the most vulnerable in hard-to-reach communities. So I would say partnerships that will eventually give you long-term impact have to be one that has the spirit of fair play, has the spirit of ensuring that nobody is left behind, and has the spirit of symbiotic relationships where each partner leaves with something on the table without one feeling scared or feeling neglected or feeling overused in the course of engaging in such partnerships. Thank you.
We are always looking to partner with anyone who's helping increase access to care and aligns with our mission. So Asha is a conversational AI caregiver, but we also have a platform through which anyone that has a healthcare service or even a wellness service, anything from transportation to medically compliant meals to professional, caregiving or mental health therapy, we want to be able to offer all of these services to our patients through our platform and essentially empower a very tech-challenged population to have the same access to care and therefore access to technology that you and I do by simplifying this healthcare and technology access through the platform. So if you are a healthcare service, a wellness service, or a medical device, or a healthcare organization, we work with all of these different types of organizations through Asha, through our platform. And we're also now working with pharma, helping essentially pharma and trial sites run virtual clinical trials through Asha, really empowering anyone from the comfort of their own home to be able to join potentially life-saving clinical research. So if you are any of these health organizations, please do come and find us. You can reach me directly. My email is rashmi@ashaai.com. And if you want to find us on the web, we're asha.healthcare.
Thank you very much. Before jumping straight away in the response, I wanted to take a step back and share a few figures that will help understand the scope of the problem and what we're talking about, and also why it matters. As an economist, I like numbers, so bear with me if you don't like numbers. But if you look at the labor force participation, only 49% of women globally participate in the labor force compared to 73% of men. So this gap of about 30 percentage points has been quite stable since the 90s, so we haven't made much progress on that. And of course, there is a large disparity across countries, with women labor force participation being as low as 5%, that's the case in Yemen and Afghanistan, and as high as 83%. That's the case in Madagascar, and just for your information, Nigeria is third with 81%, so not doing so bad. Actually great, even we can say. So that's just to understand the labor force participation. If you add on top of that the invisible work of women in the unpaid care economy, that's also a huge amount that is sometimes estimated to be about 9% of the global GDP and $11 trillion unaccounted and so completely invisible of the workforce.
Tomorrow, it is a profound honor to share space with you today as we gather here not simply to commemorate 30 years since the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, but to ignite a renewed fire in our hearts to breathe life into the unfinished work of equity, justice, and economic empowerment. We stand at the crossroads of history and innovation. where the dreams of our foremothers converge with the digital highway of tomorrow, where the fight for financial inclusion meets the call of artificial intelligence, where the voices of women echo through blockchain, networks, and Femtech solutions. Today, we do not just reflect, we rise. We rise to ensure that technology and financial instruments do not become barriers, but bridges to dignity, opportunity, and full participation. The power of 30 years. What have we won? What must we strive for? When I reflect as a young person when the Beijing conference happened and Hillary Clinton, the then First Lady of the United States, delivered her famous speech at the 1995 Fourth World Conference on Women, a historical moment. It brought together thousands of delegates from around the world. Many notable world leaders attended, including Madeleine Albright, one of my heroes. But it helped shape a groundbreaking global agenda for women's rights. Clinton remarked women's rights are human rights, and human rights are women's rights became ethics.
My name is Guy Jochen. I was born in Cameroon many years ago. I moved to the US about almost 30 years ago. And the reason I left Cameroon again because people used to ask me, you have this title, you have that, director of this, one title that I think fits to me because I like to I see myself as an activist. And you know when I say activist, what is that? You know, troublemaker is sometimes, good trouble, right? Late Congressman Levy talk about good trouble. We need to, each one of us need to be a good troublemaker. And they asked me, what's an activist? Of course, I don't believe in dictionaries a lot because I'm on the field. And the simple way to put it is that an activist is someone that when he sees something that's not right, he does something about it. He's not necessarily going to stand in front of the tank, you know, like someone will do, or what you do, but at least do something about it. It doesn't matter how small. I remember once I went to a bank, and then this lady, I'm telling you, I was observing her because I was a couple of lines back, and she would not smile at all. She was doing her job, you know, but so when it came to my turn, I said, how can I help you? She said, just give me a smile, that's all I want from you. And then she opened her eyes like, oh my God. I said, I've been watching you. We all have problems, right? Yes, but don't let other people know you have problems, especially those who cannot do something about the problem. I'm telling you today, she's one of my best friends around the world. Okay? So it doesn't matter. Sometimes we want to do big things, we need money to do things, we do this. Sometimes it's just the little things that we do to our fellow human beings that matter. On that, I was telling a friend, I'm coming here to women's conference, and they said, are you a woman? I said, no. So what are you doing there? And I shared this story that happened, I think it was in Asia, where some of these institutions were going there, you know. Of course, women have so many challenges. We need to help women. We organize events to help women, empower them, all this. And then it wasn't working. Until there was someone say, guess what? Maybe let's just bring their husband around. Let's just bring their brothers around. And then they are part of whatever, you know, we are trying to solve our job. And hold and behold, wow. Suddenly, they could see some results. So all the money that we're putting in to be experts, talk to women, getting them to know their rights and things like that, were not working because men were not involved. So when I say that's okay, yes, I understand that you can go there and do whatever. So I'm very happy to be here with you. And I have some amazing friends that are here with me. So again, we have the professor at the University of Washington State. Please come say hello to her. She come all from Washington State, not Washington DC. And have new friend that met to her, that she met at United Nations the other day, and then Deborah was in green. You know, we invited her to be in green. She's the greenest on the team. So, just say that as I say, we are going through a really, really challenging time. I remember I was still a little bit when I heard about this big conference happening in Beijing. That's where the world discovered Hillary Clinton and so many others. And then again, today is 30 years down the road. And we can see what has happened since then. Of course, for some of us who know the situation in Africa, in some of the countries where young girls from as early as 10, 12 are forced to go to marriage, get out of school, and things like that. I think this is an opportunity for us to whether has any progress made. Okay, I know the jury is still out on that, but we do know that some few things have been done. And if you are lucky to be here today, we are, of course, as we try to say, Beyond Beijing. It's been 30 years since we did this. Today, we're talking about technology, talking about finances. Okay? We have the Sustainable Development Goals. How many of you heard about the Millennium Development Goals? That will happen before the Sustainable Development Goals, yes. One of the failures of the Millennium Development Goal was that it was something by the government was supposed to check the box and things like that. But at least in the Sustainable Development Goal right now, we are working with young people to get everybody still involved. Okay? And it's more tangible. So
there are kind of 2 points, 2 sides I would like to share. One side from the innovators who want to actually use technology to make some change either in the workplace or in the daily life. A lot of these women, they come in, we all know, I think based on McKinsey, they published a report about a Soft Woman's House. Actually, it's a 1 trillion opportunity. A lot of innovators, they come in, they don't just go for that 1 trillion opportunity. They go for it because of pinpoint there. So that's the first thing. I think a lot of innovators in China, they just want to solve that problem for themselves. And then they have that skill set, the technical skills to solve that problem. However, they don't have the platform where they can be seen and be
30 years old. We're here, still having this conversation. And I was talking to a friend 2 days ago. I said, in 1995, I was very a toddler in 1995, and 30 years old, we're still here having this conversation on equity, on justice, access for women. And I had to look back at what we have currently in Africa. So in 1995 till date, we've had about 4 female ministers and prime ministers and about 3 presidents, female presidents. Not bad at all, but slow. Yes, very slow. I don't know, when we say it's not bad at all, like it's not totally bad, it means that, there is still hope. But a lot of things have changed. The AI is here to stay, and we have to, by all means, upskill. So for the workplace, for the future of work, the access to opportunity has to be there. Women will have to upskill by all means. And how do we do that? With the AI we have currently. We have courses. We'll have to learn how to integrate our career development, mentorship to AI. So for example, today, Microsoft has this career coach where they can link you based on your expertise, to a mentor or to a coach. That is AI working. So but just imagine if we have, for every woman, for every woman in every workspace, we have, some sort of tool where she can go and say, hey, look, I actually want to upskill in this area. I actually want to move from this point of being an expert in law, because I'm a lawyer, to a sustainability advocate, for example, which I am now. How do I get on with that? The AI tool is able to actually address that concern without any physical interaction with human resources or anybody. So that's access opportunities for AI, having that platform for women, they can just go there and have the access to mentorship, to career growth or change, also have access to mentoring and of course leadership opportunities as well. Then also when it has to do with, the opportunities within the workspace. Imagine when it has to do with recruitment exercises, for example. It has been proven that AI has been seen to be about 22% biased when it comes to hiring. So imagine addressing that concern now, wherein we have a tool. We currently have P-metrics and even HireVue, which are actually AI platforms that actually do a lot of screening, on recruitment basis. So it means that once you're an expert, once you are fit for that role, and you actually put in your application, the AI tool is able to screen that process and pick, select, the best based on merits. So having such tools in the workplace where biases are totally addressed, and having that tool, deciding the future of work, deciding a woman who is competent, and making her grow to as much as she wants to, and for her to achieve her full potential. Imagine we investing in that kind of area. So the future of work is here. It's something we cannot deny, but as much as possible, I keep saying, for us women, we have to upskill. We have to take the opportunity to match that effort as well. So it means that get yourself professionally certified, get yourself eminently qualified for that role. So that when we're all moving to the future of work, the AI machine as well can also identify that this person is competent, she knows what she's doing, and she can also deliver.
I think it's important for us to honor the work that each and every one of you does, because I know that you are phenomenal champions in your own rights, championing for all really SDG related, global related issues, emerging issues, and local issues. I think it's important for us not to only talk about large organizations like the United Nations, like the African Union, like the European Union, and so on and so forth, but to really spotlight the work that people like our awardees on the stage do on a daily basis. Many of these people I know, I've seen them really trailblaze, not only in Conference Room 4 or the General Assembly of the UN, or maybe going to a conference abroad in China or Nepal or in Ghana or in Kathmandu or Montpellier, France, but really on a daily basis, having that passion in their hearts, having that determination to get the job done. And not only the women, the men too. So for me, it's an honor to be here and to acknowledge you and to present to you with this NOVA Class of 2025 award. I know it's only the beginning, and you're gonna keep illuminating as we go forward. I'm looking really forward to hearing what you're gonna do in 2025 as we go into 26, and welcoming you back as we grow next year. Thank you so much. So on behalf of all the organizers, congratulations, félicitations, felicidades. Thank you. So shall we start?
So I think that, because we're not sure who is here and who is not, so if you could just introduce yourself so we can just pull up your.
I know some of the people that are here, I have them on my hand, I can do them. I'm honored to give an award to...
Taking this opportunity to thank the two amazing people that have been around for the past 3-4 years in my journey of advocacy. This is my boss, Madam Asela Sambasise, and a P4C champion in our country, Mr. Sakendema. This is one of the best that I've received to acknowledge my effort beyond my country. So I want to say thank you to all of you here. I am the Advocacy Officer for Young Men in Democracy. For being here today means my boss is doing the work she has always wished to happen, which is young women's representation. So thank you very much. I appreciate everyone here. Thank you.
My name is Ambassador Rami Duyele with Legacy Premier Foundation, appreciating IBTK Foundation and Sanicle organization and many other organizations that came together at the United Nations CSW 69 in support of the Beijing status on women. We truly appreciate organizations like yours, foundations like yours, but one thing you've done for all of us is you've propelled us to want to do more, stopping to appreciate us, appreciating us all in our own different capacities gives us the impetus to want to do more. Thank you so much for all you do, and we want to continue to work with you, and see you soon.
Hi, my name is Celia Blancaflor, and I'm honored to be a recipient of the NOVA Award. I sincerely thank Sanicle, IBTK Foundation, UN Women, UNESCO, and the many other partner groups involved for the award. I work in journalism industry, and one thing that has always been passionate to me is making sure the voices of diverse communities are highlighted and represented in an accurate way, especially in media. I am committed to continuing to do my work to ensure that the voices of women and the voices of diverse communities continue to be heard. And I look forward to working with fellow honorees and partners to drive meaningful impacts in my own industry for the rest of the year and beyond.
Hello, I'm Ambassador Shayna Boutte and one of the honored recipients of the inaugural NOVA Award. It's humbling to stand here among such inspiring individuals, and I'm grateful for acknowledgments for my work with the disabled community, helping women in my community and across the globe. I'd like to thank the IBTK Foundation, Sanicle, Honoring the Greats, Chi-Chi Films, Ambassador Catherine Ute-Sallow, Dr. Edna Frenchwood, as well as many other organizations who've made this award possible. I will continue to dedicate myself and my life work to the educational rights, safe and equal employment environments, advancements in sciences and technology, and access to both in the career fields, and to ensure proper and accessible healthcare for women across the globe. I want to dedicate this award and give thanks to the Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity, my parents for their unending love and support, Lori Rugenstein for her belief in my abilities as a disabled woman, and there are so many more people who have touched my life and who have helped me achieve my growth to be recognized at this level. Thank you and God bless.
So greetings. This is Junisa Precious Bete Salukalon. I am privileged. Again, I am privileged to come out here today to publicly affirm, accept, and appreciate the organizers and coordinators of the NOVA Awards. I am privileged to be at service to the young people of Sierra Leone, and privileged to be of service to young people globally. These are recognition of efforts being put together of young people across the continents to appreciate the work they are doing towards sustainable development and humanity as a whole. I want to say thank you very much for the consideration, for the nomination, for the vetting and awarding of this particular plaque to me in New York. I am very much grateful for all of what you are also doing in recognizing young people and people of various categories for the excellence in their output that in their various and diverse engagements. I want to thank Mr. Chaste. I want to thank Madam Howard Diallo. I want to thank my board of trustees, in particular Mr. Mogbete Salukalon, Jacinda Cole, Peter Jackson. I want to appreciate Elizabeth Kamara and the Kamara family. I want to appreciate every young person. This award is dedicated to every youth in the Republic of Sierra Leone, because my excellence in service delivery is in honor of replicating the distasteful dissatisfaction of young people in society in our country. We see how drugs, abuse, and other maligning issues have submerged our identity in the Republic of Sierra Leone. We see how frustration has been the order of the day. I am not different from you. I am not better than you. I am only opportune to be in a space wherein I can only amplify those thousands of voices that cannot speak while I am speaking. I am only opportune to express the level of frustration of the thousands of young people right across the Republic of Sierra Leone, right across Africa and the world at large, and to see how can we provide solution to make our world a better place. This is a testament of the work that we are doing. That is why this award is dedicated to every young person in the Republic of Sierra Leone. No one is too young to be the positive change you want to see in society. No one is too young to be the positive change in our society in the Republic of Sierra Leone. I want to acknowledge the eminent hand of God over my life. I want to acknowledge the eminent blessings of my parents and every elderly person that has made it their responsibility to support me in one way or the other to enhance the vision I shared with them to become a trailblazer, not only in Sierra Leone but across the globe. I want to acknowledge every government facet that has supported me: the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Youth Affairs, National Youth Commission, Ministry of Social Welfare, Ministry of Gender, Office of the President, Office of the First Lady. I want to acknowledge every government facet because in as much as we also want to express and showcase ourselves internationally, but there are people, there are institutions behind the scene that make certain things very smooth for us to be where we are today. I want to appreciate the U.S. Embassy for granting me the visa to come to the United States and be able to receive this award on behalf of the young people of Sierra Leone, on behalf of myself and the Youth Association in Sierra Leone. Every single individual, every single institution, including the organizers of this prestigious award, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, and God richly bless you. I shall try to the best of my ability to deliver and be the excellent positive icon to change society for the better.
Hello, my name is Luz Maria Utrera, President and founder of Fundación Luz Maria in Argentina and Luz Maria Foundation here in the US. The foundation is about gender equality, women empowerment, and ending violence against women. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the NOVA Award, especially thank to Sanicle, Chaste and IBTQ Foundation, HAWA, and all the partners. I dedicate this award to all my colleagues all over the world and to all women and girls also all over the world. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. God bless. Bye, Luz Maria.
Hello, my name is Mariama Sahid. I am the communications person for Campaign for Good Governance in Sierra Leone and also the Advocacy Officer for Young Women in Democracy Forum. I am doing this short video to accept the NOVA Award Prize, Class of 2025. I want to also appreciate the organizers of this award for acknowledging the work that we've been doing globally, for acknowledging the work that I've been doing back home, and to also acknowledging what I have been doing as an individual. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you all.
Greetings. I would like to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to the organizers, and I'm really honored and privileged to receive the NOVA Award and be the inaugural class of 2025. Thank you, Hawa Taylor, Chaste, and all the others on the team and the various organizers. I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt thanks to my beloved late mother, who taught me the importance of giving back. Thank you, Mom. I would also like to express my thanks to my dear daughter, Aishu, my dear sister, Apu. Thank you so much for your unwavering support. And this is for women and girls. Thank you.
My name is Richard Iyasere. I'm well known in the community as Daddy Rich. I am very, very honored and humble to receive this prestigious award from NOVA. I am very, very pleased to be shown this kind of recognition. I thank everybody that is involved in this, the organizers. I thank Sanicle. I thank IBTK Foundation. And this kind of recognition motivates me to do more in gender equality, motivate me to do more to help out for women heads, and I'm committed to contribute to the advancement of gender equality. I look forward to work with other honorees.
My name is Olanrewaju Adewale. I'm widely known as J. Adewale, and I'm honored to be a recipient of the NOVA Award. And I want to sincerely thank Sanicle, Chaste, and the Advocacy Foundation, and Tiawa, and all our partners for these recognitions. I really appreciate it. So if I talk a little bit about my work focuses on empowering Africa's youth and also driving positive change across the continent. Through my entrepreneurial ventures, I strive to create a meaningful impact while aligning with the United Nations SDG. I'm also passionate about writing, sharing insights, and also motivating young people to become the agent of change, because young people are the future of Africa. So this award is not just a recognition, but a responsibility. I am committed to furthering my efforts in youth empowerment, fostering Pan-African unity, and also helping young people shape a prosperous and inclusive future for Africa. And I must say, I look forward to collaborating with fellow honorees and also partners so we can drive meaningful impact in Africa. Starting from December 2025 and even beyond, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is God Bless Atubare. I'm very honored to receive the Nova Award. I want to thank Sanicle and the IBTK Foundation for recognizing me and the incredible work they do. I also want to use this opportunity to say that my work focuses on civic technology, building apps that help promote democracy and empower young people to participate in governance process, as well as improving U.S.-African relations and just making the world a better place. I also want to say that this is not just a recognition, but also a call to more responsibility and the need to do more. I just also want to say that I'm looking forward to working with all the awardees and to improving our shared commitment to a better world. Moving forward, we'll be doing more to increase e-democracy platforms around the world, and I look forward to doing more with everyone. God bless you and bye-bye.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Queen Esther, SDG. I am the founder and executive director of Niger Worldwide Charities, a US-based charity working with women and girls and health and education. I'm also a co-founder of Global Women Africa Network, which is a network of women organizations across Africa and diaspora working to empower women and to share knowledge and resources. I am blessed to be one of the recipients of the 2025 Nova Award, and I am very, very grateful. I look forward to working with the organization to continue to enrich and empower our continent and people generally across the world. Thank you very, very much. I accept.
My name is Felicia Da Silva, the CEO of Reality Events. I'm a strategic consultant. I equally serve on the board of a number of organizations. I must say I sincerely appreciate the efforts of Awa Diallo, Sanicle, and the number of organizations that came together, partners, foundations, to give me this award, which I sincerely accept from the bottom of my heart. Going forward, I will increase my efforts on championing the cause of women in advocacy, decision making, and policy. Once again, thank you and God bless. I'm equally open to partnership and collaborations with other awardees, governmental organizations and non-governmental organizations, locally and internationally. Thank you.
My name is Adebusui Olutayo Olumadewa, the founder of Do the Dream Youth Development Initiative, an organization in special consultative status with Economic and Social Council, accredited to United Nations Environmental Programme, and a member of World Bank Group Civil Society Unit. I'm glad to be a recipient of Nova Award 2025. And I want to thank Sanicle and IBTK Foundation for finding our work worthy and to be given this wonderful award. It means a lot to us, it means a lot to our team, and it means a lot to our nation. Do the Dream plays in education and gender, and also plays in DDGM works in education and gender, and also work in environment, which are subset of our work: environment, energy, climate action, and also works in the sustainable development goal 8. Our work in education is we help young people to build and create an opportunity, finding their voice, and create a platform for the voices to be amplified. With a gender equality project and girls are assets, girls in energy project, women's role in Africa of our dream, we work in achieving gender equality for young girls, giving them skills, moving them from skills to service to solutions and sustainability. In conclusion, we want to thank Sanicle and IBTK Foundation for this wonderful opportunity, and we'll pledge that we're going to be collaborating with all the change makers who are 2025 awardees as well, to make things happen in this year of greatness. Thank you, Sanicle. Thank you, IBTK Foundation. And to the team, we say thank you. And to all the awardees, I want to say congratulations to you all. God bless you.
It is with humility and sincere appreciation that I, Oluwatoyin Omolola, accept this prestigious NOVA Award. Special appreciation goes to the awards committee, Sanicle, IBTK Foundation, and all partners for this recognition. My work focuses on empowering and equipping individuals, especially immigrants and women, and also youth, to ensure that they maximize potential and have available resources to fulfill their God-designed purposes. I'm committed to the responsibilities associated with this award, and I'm ready and willing to work alongside other co-honorees for meaningful collaboration and successful impact. Congratulations, thank you, and God's blessings.
Good day everyone, my name is Benga Akimbulere. I'm truly honored to be a recipient of the 2025 NOVA Award presented by Sanicle and IBTK Foundation. This award is a constant reminder that our work, especially in tech, awareness and innovation, can create lasting change. My current focus is building inclusive technology that empowers young girls and women, giving them access to track their health, access mentorship, and see themselves as a future leader instead. Thank you for this incredible recognition. These have fueled my desire to continue building application that inspires, uplifts, and creates lasting changes. Together, we can all continue making a difference. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Rosemont Yabua, the founder and executive director of the Rosemont Amayoba Foundation, which provides scholarships and youth employment initiatives for underprivileged people in Ghana and the USA. I'm honored to be the female Ghanaian and recipient of the Nobel Prize Award 2025. I want to use this opportunity given to me to express my profound gratitude to the UN Women, the IBTK Foundation, the Sanicle, and all other organizers and partners, including the UN in Nigeria. We commit to championing the right to education for all girls and young people in underprivileged areas. Thank you again.
integrate women's health. So we want to be able to ask, how can the World Bank and IMF further integrate women's health, particularly menstrual and menopause equity, into global development financing and workplace? And the second one is to explore pathways for turning civil society projects into scalable, sustainable technology products, leveraging multilateral support, policy integration, and market-driven impact models, like how the private sector participations like the IBMs and Google come into working with World Bank and civil society. Thank you.
But I'd like to take you truly through my background, because you'll be wondering, what will a guy be doing speaking about menstrual and menopause? No pun intended, I love women so much. And I started my journey with activities around rape. We're promoting, because I saw it was another gender war that men has to be involved with issues around rape. We're creating the awareness that it was not just about what ladies were wearing, because I come from Nigeria. Then in a couple of years again, I went into raising awareness about female genital mutilation. There was a case of a young girl who was to be used for ritual purposes in northern Nigeria, and we needed money for a vaginoplasty operation. That's a reconstruction of a vagina and rectum, and we needed to fundraise, went into the community, raised money for a successful surgery. Then on the last day of the conversation of presenting our report to the correspondent chapel at one of the government house in northern Nigeria, we're speaking excitedly about how we were successful with the project, and one of the media person was like, a lot of non-profit just talk about hosting events, doing projects, but they do not execute to completion. And there was a case of going online the next day was to find out that people were putting some things on Twitter. I'd rather get pregnant rather than be on my period. If only men were on their periods, maybe pads would be raining down from the skies. Sex is a choice. Why is condom-free and sanitary pads were expensive? I saw a gender war was about to happen. I spoke to a lot of my media friends at that time. They were like, Chaste, what's with you with women problems? You know, people at times will even say, are you a pervert? Why is it that, and now you're going into menstruation. Even women struggle to talk about menstruation. It's a taboo subject. But to cut the long story short, we went into community, creating platforms to getting even men into the conversation. And fast forward, I moved to the United States, and I saw that it was also a very bigger problem. We were watching movies like Coming to America, and when we get into the US, we're going to just pick up dollars on the floor, like there were money everywhere. So why would period poverty be an issue even in the US? So with the United Nations Rotary Club, we would go into communities, shelter homes, we were giving out pads, but we saw that that was also not self-sustaining. So I also wrote a book called The Period Passport, which was like a father-daughter guide, because even fathers leave it to their mothers to say, okay, this is your mother's business to take care of you. I can have such conversation. But looking forward, we're able to start using entertainment as an intervention.
I think we should stop sugarcoating it. Menstrual product is a luxury in Nigeria for millions. You know, a single mother in Mushin, where I grew up, told me she chooses between feeding her child and buying pad. This is the brutal reality. The average pad now costs between 700 to 12,000, and there's some pads like Noni that can be as expensive as even 14,000 naira. And that's for non-organic brands like the Always and the Muppets of this world. And when you're thinking about the imported brands like organic, like the Honey Pots, they can go as more as 14,000. That's outrageous. Girls are bleeding through school uniforms. Women in rural community are still using feathers, they're still using newspapers, mattresses and rags. And this isn't just about health, it's about human dignity, economic justice, and a system that continues to fail Nigerian women. So affordability should be taken into consideration, and this is a time that even private sector participation should be taken seriously. So we are demanding it and not requesting it, a national menstrual policy that include tax-free pads, free menstrual products in all public school, a paid menstrual leave in the workplace. Anything less is a betrayal to millions of women living in poverty. Like when I started this journey, it was pretty much being online on Twitter, which is now called X, a few years back. And it was like, I'd rather get pregnant than buy sanitary pads. You know, condom is free, why is sex a choice, and tampons is tax. You know, it was that conversation. There was a gender war that was about to happen. Like, if only men were on their period, maybe pads would be raining from the skies. I think these are conversations that pushes the frontiers for policy. You know, let's be honest, when 65% of Nigerian women can't afford pads, and schoolgirls are forced to bleed into mattress foams, old rags, or even chicken feathers. And what we're witnessing is not just neglect, it's a state-sanctioned violence against the bodies of poor girls, against rural women, against women who are scrapping up on $10,000 a month. But we're not waiting for permission. We're partnering with state government, NGOs, and daring innovators like Joy. Look at what she's doing to craft reusable bags from banana trunks. We're proposing solar-powered menstrual dispensers. We're asking for pilot AI bag supply chains with the Ministry of Digital Economy and Women Affairs to track and deliver this product where they are needed the most. And this is the right time for this to happen. And this is also a direct call to the First Lady to embed menstrual dignity into the renewed hope agenda. We don't want this to be another photo op that a lot of people just go to schools or communities and just give out pads. These policies should be integrated. If Kenya can provide free pads in school, Nigeria has no excuse, and that's why we should use platforms like the Menstrual Hygiene Day, which is May 28th, that is championed by Wash United and other stakeholders in the space. And Youth Central, for example, is doing this laudable job by spotlighting these issues, and organizations like Menstrual Peace Resource Development Centers who are coming together with a revolution. And that's the time for these policies, for us to stop girls who are bleeding in silence, for the women suffering in shame, for a country long overdue, for its redemption through red dignity. Thank you.
I think it comes with a lot of people dismissing it as a culture of taboo. You know, I remember while growing up, a lot of things when you touch women's items, it's like you're losing your destiny or some form of culture or diabolical things. So people are not taking it seriously. And misinformation and lack of prioritization. I did write an open letter when the president got in to emphasize the need of even taking this to the presidential level, that menstrual hygiene is not a nice to have, it's a must to have. Women's health issues that needs to be taken seriously, where 1 out of every 10 girls miss out of school, even those in the workplaces loses their job as a result of bad menstrual cramps, perimenopause bleeding, and because they are not a culture to be able to speak to their male colleagues or colleagues in school about it, it becomes very shameful and taboo, and it's always been dismissed. That fear has led into even people losing their lives, like we've read in different countries, in continents like Kenya, East Africa. We've seen people who are ashamed to even go to places of worship and all. So I believe it's time that we normalize this conversation, because millions will continue to suffer in silence, impacting their education, career growth, and also overall well-being. For women in the workplace, typical thing is even having this conversation, making sure there's a need for more information. There should be a need for more awareness. Women will say, it's my issue, it's my privacy, I know more. But truly, for some people, if they don't understand the differences even between the types of pads that exist, are there menstrual cups, are there period panties, are there organic washable pads, like people become scared of the information that exists in this space, and how is technology even driving that conversation? You know, we want people to be aware that what their grandmas used when they were using rags is different from what is being outside there. So people need to be accustomed to what is working now. How is it comfortable to my body, beyond every peer pressure they get from speaking to colleagues or even students speaking to their peers in school, or all the cultural taboos that comes with, oh, if I use a tampon, for example, is it a sexual toy? Would it affect me? Those are the things that we need to be able to see how much more to have an open dialogue about these issues. That women's rights is an open one, that women's health should be discussed, and menstrual and menopause is not a disease that should not be shared openly, and people should be supportive when that issues arises.
Speaker Pam, I think it was really, we've put moms on the hot seat, but it's dads too. So it's a plug for our sponsor, Sanicle, because their platform is about creating that conversation between single fathers and young girls. And we all should be having those conversations so we can normalize it. But yes, we want Pam to tell us about this justice and advocacy, because again, how we are so, I'm not gonna say brainwashed, but how it is so controlled and how we can liberate ourselves from that.
Yes. I think earlier on, Erica mentioned something about shame, and I think that right now we are in a space where it's less of a taboo and more of a shame thing, because we don't talk about it because we are also ashamed to say that you're on your period. I didn't have a problematic period, but it took me to my late 20s to experience period pain.
I'm describing polycystic ovarian syndrome affects 1 in 10 women. So that can include symptoms like divorce, irregular menstrual cycles, and lots of facial hair, or hair as well. So prior to the pandemic, before I went all in into entrepreneurship, I chose to work a couple of retail jobs. And so another one of the symptoms is extreme fatigue. So there be some weeks where I am extremely productive, some weeks where I am extremely tired. And instead of my boss is trying to ask what's going on, how can I help you, I get chastised and belittled. And the further I got into my role, especially, being a former interim CEO and CEO of Sanicle, the more I realized a lot of women who menstruate have the same issue. Being belittled, not being understood, not being seen, not being heard. So once I was able to have those conversations with Sanicle events, I realized, okay, there is a problem that needs to be solved here. Women still need to be seen and heard and understood. And in order for the inclusivity, and even though they're breaking down all the DEI laws right now, people still need to be heard. And that's just for both genders. Although it's menstruators, the men are the ones who are the bosses. The men are the ones who are the decision makers. And I believe that PCOS is just one aspect. There's so many other irregular periods symptoms going on that other people should be able to understand.
Hi, I'm Erin Irebu-Lomas, mother, cultural visionary, and former corporate account manager. At 29, I oversaw nearly $1 million in landscape assets and 67 high responsibility sites, from hospitals to elder homes. That role demanded discipline and leadership from me, but what also truly sustained me was the C-suite of leaders who lifted me up and gave me grace when I needed to restore, recover, and return stronger. Now I stand with Sanicle Cloud, an AI-powered platform revolutionizing how corporate and government employers support hormonal and reproductive health at work. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, women make up 46.8% of the workforce. That's nearly half of the workforce, yet menstrual and menopause care for employees is still largely an area to improve. They say heavy is the head that wears the crown, and women have carried generations. Let's continue to support women with systems designed for women's well-being and radiance. We are raising $500,000 in pre-seed funding to scale this vision and reimagine workplace care together. Join us.
As you're talking, Chase, I was just remembering when I started working in UN in 1986, everything was on carbon paper. Is anybody old enough to know that? My contract was signed on like 5 sheets of carbon paper. I don't think they do that anymore. And I think I first saw a computer maybe in 1989, because even in the United
United Nations, not everybody had a computer. Not everybody has that. It has the internet and connected to all these different